Transition and Scale Through Disruption, Executive Insight Series. Executive Briefing number 4. Organizational Adaptation Speed. Why the speed at which your organization reads its environment, decides, adapts, and wins has become the ultimate competitive advantage. Executive Summary. Markets are no longer changing every few years, they're changing every few months. Artificial intelligence is transforming industries. Customer expectations continue to evolve. New competitors emerge from unexpected places. Regulations change. Supply chains shift. Geopolitical events reshape markets overnight. In this environment, competitive advantage is no longer determined by size, market share, or even strategy. It is determined by how quickly an organization can read its environment, decide, and adapt. The businesses that thrive over the coming decade won't necessarily have the best products or the largest budgets. They will have the greatest capacity to adapt. Executive Observation. For decades, business leaders focused on building stability, stable strategies, stable processes, stable organizational structures, stable revenue streams. Those principles worked when markets moved slowly. Today's environment is fundamentally different. The ability to execute yesterday's strategy exceptionally well is no longer enough. Organizations must continually read their environment, understand what is changing, make informed decisions, and adapt before the market moves again. The question is no longer, how efficient is our organization? The question is, how quickly can our organization read its environment, decide, and adapt? Social listening. Across boardrooms, executive forums, investor meetings, and leadership conversations, one concern appears repeatedly. Everything seems to be moving faster than our organization. Leadership teams describe similar frustrations. Decisions take too long. Priorities change before implementation is complete. Cross-functional alignment is difficult. Teams wait for approvals. Valuable opportunities disappear while discussions continue. The issue is rarely a lack of intelligence. The issue is an organization's understanding of the market, its response to it, and its adaptation speed. A strategic advisory perspective. After supporting founders, CEOs, executive teams, and investors through transitions, turnarounds, and scaling initiatives across multiple industries, one pattern has become increasingly clear. Organizations rarely fail because they don't recognize change. They fail because they cannot adapt quickly enough. By the time consensus has been reached, the market has already moved. Organizations that consistently outperform their competitors don't necessarily have better strategies. They have built the capability to continuously read their environment, decide with confidence, and adapt faster than the pace of change. That capability is becoming the defining competitive advantage of winning organizations. Executive Insight. Organizational adaptation begins with understanding. Before an organization can respond, it must first understand what is happening in its environment. The organizations that outperform their competitors don't simply react faster. They understand the market sooner, make better decisions, and adapt with confidence. Adaptation starts by reading the environment, understanding what is changing, recognizing what matters, separating signals from noise, finding the right strategic bets to make, making confident decisions despite uncertainty, and adapting before change becomes disruption. Organizations that master this capability don't wait for certainty. They build confidence through continuous learning, decisive leadership, and purposeful adaptation. They are incrementally winning and gaining market share in disrupted markets. In today's environment, competitive advantage is determined by how quickly an organization can read its environment, decide, adapt, and win. Reflection. Questions. Take a moment to reflect. How effectively do we read changes in our market? How quickly do we recognize meaningful shifts? How well do we understand what those changes mean for our business? Are we separating signals from noise? Are we making the right strategic bets? How long does it take us to make strategic decisions? Where does decision-making slow down? What prevents our organization from adapting faster? Are we responding to change or anticipating it? If our biggest competitor changed direction tomorrow, how quickly could we adapt? Key takeaways. Markets reward organizations that adapt, not those that simply endure. Adaptation begins by reading and understanding your environment. Separating signals from noise enables better strategic decisions. Finding the right strategic bets determines future growth. Speed without direction creates chaos. Direction without speed creates irrelevance. Competitive advantage is increasingly determined by how quickly an organization can read its environment, decide, adapt, and win. Executive invitation. If your organization is navigating increasing uncertainty and market disruption, we warmly invite you to join our Transition and Scale Through Disruption Executive VIP Masterclass. Together, we explore the executive capabilities required to become anti-fragile, building organizations that grow stronger through disruption, adapt faster than competitors, and maximize margins, sustainable growth, and enterprise value. Discover practical insights, executive perspectives, and proven approaches to help you build a more anti-fragile organization, one that can read its environment, decide with confidence, adapt with purpose, and strengthen its competitive position in changing markets. Coming next, Executive Briefing number 5. In our next executive briefing, we'll explore: why do organizations struggle to translate great strategies into consistent execution? We know this is one of the biggest challenges facing founders, CEOs, and executive teams today. It's also one of the questions we hear most often in our executive conversations. Questions like, why are organizations unable to execute the strategies they already know are right? If strategy isn't the problem, what is preventing organizations from executing it? If executive teams know what needs to change, why does change happen so slowly? Why do leadership teams leave the boardroom aligned, yet execute different priorities once they return to their departments? What separates organizations that consistently execute from those that continuously miss their targets? Could the real challenge be that organizations are trying to execute tomorrow's strategy with yesterday's organization? Until then, continue leading with clarity, continue building adaptability, and continue scaling with intention. I'm Madiha Mouchtak. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to welcoming you to the next Executive Insight.